Hey everybody, it is Carla with Carla's Clever Crafts. We're going to do a patriotic wreath tonight. It is actually one of my customers' orders, and we're going to be using the star that says God bless America, welcome, and let freedom ring. And then these are the ribbons that we're going to use. We have a 1.5 inch red, solid red. We're going to use this burlap red and white and blue star ribbon, which is 2.5 inches. The flag pattern ribbon is 2.5 inches. And then we have this USA ribbon with the map of the United States on it. It's also 2.5 inches. I cut all of these to 18 inches long, and I have dovetailed the ends of them for us. We're also going to use these little stars for some embellishment on the top. And then I'm using a 14.5 inch wire frame. I have already pre-wired it with 18 pipe cleaners. I have 6 pipe cleaners on the inside 2 rings and 12 on the outside 2 rings. The way that I do that is in between each section, which is between these 2 crossbars. So this is considered a section. I put 1 pipe cleaner on the inside 2 rings, then I go to the outside 2 rings, and halfway between this first pipe cleaner and this crossbar, or about an inch or an inch and a half in, I put 1 pipe cleaner. Then I come to the other side and do the same thing, halfway between this crossbar and the middle pipe cleaner, and put another one. That gives us 3 in each section. We have 6 sections, so we have 18 total pipe cleaners. So we're going to also need 18 pieces of mesh. I'm going to be using this blue and white mesh. We're going to rotate that around the outside 12 pipe cleaners. And then I also have a red, which I've already got in my Cruffle folder because I went ahead and made the Cruffles in advance and forgot to keep a piece out. We're going to put red on top of it. It is red wide weave mesh. So I'll show you that when I get to it. Mesh pieces are going to be cut to 18 inches long. And I don't have this as a kit in my shop, so I do want to tell you guys where I got the materials. Um, all of the mesh I'm using tonight came from craftoutlet.com. This beige colored star ribbon also came from Craft Outlet, as well as the 1.5 inch red ribbon. And then both of these, the USA and the star ribbon, or I'm sorry, flag ribbon, I got both of these together in a set off of Amazon. I ordered that last year, so I'm not sure if they still have it. I do need to restock these two because they're some of my favorite patriotic ribbons. So I'm going to be checking later. I hope they do have them. This was a Dollar Tree sign that they came out with last year. It's the MDF wood sign. And then also the foam stars came from the Dollar Tree. They sell them in a bag. I think you get 24 in a bag, and they come multicolored, and they also come in different sizes. We're going to use the smaller size tonight, but they do have some bigger ones also in the bag. Okay, I think that covers what we're going to be using, because this is a design that I did before I created my new Cruffle, or I'm sorry, new petal. Did you say the ribbon was 18 inches or that there were 18 of them? No, the ribbon is 12 inches, and I have 6 of each. So 4 total ribbons. The mesh is 18 inches. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Hi, Shannon. Honey. Okay, so this is a customer's purchase we're making tonight, and I wanted to do it on live, so I thought I would kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and make this design tonight on live. We're going to be doing Cruffles because a design that I did before I made the new petal. So tomorrow I'll be back with the design with the petal, probably the cross that I mentioned yesterday. So I do have a lot of new people on my page, and though some of you guys have seen me do the Cruffle over and over, I'm going to do a couple just so that anybody who hasn't watched my video before will see how I do those. So I just lay my piece of mesh out in front of me with the curl, the part that naturally curls facing up. I'm going to roll over 2, 3, 4, and I use my pinkies to keep these ends down so they roll in kind of nice and tight. And then I put a clip in the middle. It just helps me. It's easier for me to keep my curls tight and get everything the way that I want it. And to do the same thing on this end. This blue mesh that I'm using is a value mesh, so it's a little on the lighter side. The white is a standard poly mesh. When I say lighter side, I mean lightweight, so it's a little bit thinner. The regular standard poly mesh is a little more substantial. Okay, and I did color coordinate my pipe cleaners, so a little bit more organized this evening, I guess. So we're going to put blue in the blue. Next, we're going to do white in the white, and we're just going to work in the outside 12 pipe cleaners to start with. So I'm going to squeeze these in real tight because these bottom cruffles are going to form the base of our whole wreath, and then we're just going to build up from there. So we want to make sure these are nice and tight. We'll do one more cruffle together in the red, and then I do have the rest of them pre-made so that we can just lay them in and hopefully not make the video terribly long. 3, 4. Remember, use your pinkies to keep those ends under. And you don't have to use a clip. I just find it's easier if I do. The clips I get at the Dollar Tree, they're actually chip bag clips. So they're in the kitchen section, but you can also use clothespins or whatever you have laying around the house works just fine. I always lose my clips, so I keep several of them handy. That's why I buy the chip bag clips. Okay, and when I lay them in, I'm putting my finished edge to the inside and outside. That is the way that I lay in my bottom layer of mesh on almost all my Cruffle designs. Okay, so now we'll just start pulling them out of the Cruffle holder over here and put them in. I never put the colors in the right order in my Cruffle holder, it seems. So I'm just going to work my way around. Once we get this first layer of mesh in, we'll come back and do some ribbon tails. You just woke up, you were confused. That's okay, Shannon. I've been fighting the urge for a nap for 2 hours now. It's like I can't nap now. I'll miss my live time. I can't do that. I've been eating ice cream and sugar and drinking a lot of coffee to try to keep awake. Okay, so we're just moving around. How's everybody doing this evening? You guys let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will, if I miss them while I'm live, I will be sure to go back and check them and answer you. Sometimes it might take me a day or two, depending on how busy I am. And this week, my orders have been unusually high for the middle of the week. I had not planned on doing a Patriotic wreath or another Cruffle wreath right now, but because of the number of orders I have and meeting my deadlines, kind of got stuck with no choice. I do love this design though, and I think you guys will like it as well. It's been a very popular one for me. I actually originally designed this last year. You're doing okay. It's a yucky day there. I'm sorry to hear that. For a change, it's actually been nice here. We got the corn in the other day in the garden, and it's ever since until today. Today's been kind of nice. Which I guess the rain is good for our seeds, but it's not good for your mood. have not been to the Dollar Tree. Rained all day there, Diane. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Where are you at, Diane? And no, Miss Shannon is in New Jersey. Made one too many Cruffles again. I swear I'm having real challenges with counting these last few days. Just double check it to make sure I didn't miss a pipe cleaner, but I didn't, so I must have just cut one too many. You're in Texas. Oh, okay. Diane's in Wisconsin, and then we have another Diane that is in Texas, and it rained. Man, it's raining all across the country. I'm in the middle of all of you guys. I'm in West Virginia. Okay, so now we're going to go around this first layer. I'm going to fix this last piece I put in. And then we're going to go around our first layer and lay some ribbons. We're going to do one ribbon per pipe cleaner. I'm going to start with the USA ribbon. Let me move things so you guys can see what I'm doing. It flat in front of me, punch up the middle. I'm going to do my typical V method back towards myself, line up these edges and make like a V shape and hold in my hand. That way I can just lay it straight down in my pipe cleaner and tie it off. Since we're only putting one ribbon and nothing else on this, I'm going to go ahead and cut these off now because we are going to add another mesh on top using the 6 pipe cleaners from the inside. And it's just easier if I go ahead and clip them now instead of waiting until after I have to reach underneath the second layer of mesh. Okay, so then I'm going to do the red. Since 2 of my ribbons have the flag pattern on them, I want to put this solid red in between them. And then next we will do, oh, I'm sorry, we're doing the flag next. Getting ahead of myself. And then last we will do the star. What part? So Parkersburg is not very far from in Huntington, West Virginia. So I live right on the border, the tri-state area between Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia, right where they meet. Watching from North Carolina. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, these are all really good quality ribbons. They're canvas type material, which I tend to love. This one is painted, the stars, so some of them are glitter and some of them are white. And then the 2 flag pattern ribbons are both printed. But they're all really nice, sturdy ribbons. Even the 1.5 inch solid red is a real nice quality. Hey, Diane. my goodness. So you used my method and it sold. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you for letting me know. That makes me happy for me and me happy for you. That's amazing. Okay, so I blabbed and got off track, you guys. Move the red over where it goes, and then we're going to put the USA in there. I around. I try to get ribbons will be evenly spaced throughout my wreath. Okay, so I was supposed to do the USA, so let's do that now. Did you skip a ribbon color? Yes, I did because I had put this red in the wrong place, Shannon. I put it here, so I had to move it over. I need to put the USA back in here so that I keep my pattern consistent. I was talking, I got excited at Diane's good news, and I accidentally put the wrong ribbon color in the wrong pipe cleaner. So now we have the USA ribbon in there. Next, I had done the red. So we've got red. So now I need to do the flag ribbon. Oh, no, they don't, Shannon. But thank you so much for helping catch me because we know I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. It's okay when I catch them, but I hate when I make the mistakes that I don't catch until the end or it's too late or the customer catches it. That's really never good. I haven't had that happen. So I try to keep it that way. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Okay. And boy, I'm just drawn to that red, you guys. So after the flag is supposed to be the star. I just keep wanting to put where. I like that I use different ribbons instead of just one all the way around. Yeah, sometimes I'll use just 2 different ribbons, but the majority of my designs I do 4 different ribbons. And I always start with trying to coordinate the ribbons with my sign, and then I go to making them coordinate with each other. With a patriotic wreath, that's easier because you're really only dealing with the 3 same colors and a lot of similar patterns. But I do that with all of my designs. Okay, now let me keep it straight, you guys. So we did the star. Next, we need the USA. Now I can use another red one. Hi, Creative. What's your name? I like your business name, Creative Creations. That's awesome. Okay, after the red is the flag. And then we have just one more ribbon and we can start our second layer and add our another layer of mesh. This mesh is going to really brighten this thing up. It has, it's red, but it has some metallic weave woven, however you say that, through it. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Okay. So now we need to do a star, and then we'll move on to the mesh, and then we'll come back to these ribbons. I've done a lot of my wreaths this way because I like for both my ribbons and my mesh to show. I like to make sure my frame is covered, but I also like my mesh and ribbons to, as much as possible, show through. That is one good thing with the wide weave mesh that I'm getting ready to use, is it will cover up where we see our frame through here, but it also allows all these colors from the bottom to show through. Okay. All right, let me take out my extra white Cruffle and lay it to the side. Okay, so this is the wide weave mesh. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's very pretty. I use it a lot on top of my designs. I don't think I've ever used it on the base of my design because it is so see-through, but it is nice for like a bold pop of color on the top. So what I'm going to do is reach in here and pull these red pipe cleaners to the outside. I usually do that before I grab my piece of mesh because that makes it easier. But tonight I did it backwards. When you're pulling these pipe cleaners to the outside, just make sure you're pulling them straight through, straight out from where you have them connected at. That way you have, when you lay in your mesh and your ribbons, everything's evenly dispersed around your design. And I can already tell that I don't have something correct. Oh, yes, I do. There it is. I thought I was missing a pipe cleaner, but it's already through. It's right there. Okay. So then when I lay this red mesh in order to ensure coverage of my frame all the way around, I'm going to turn them. So instead of laying them this way, the way I did the first layer, I'm going to turn them and face them with the finished edge to the right and the left. I do my curls face down most of the time. But if you want more of your curls to show, you can put those face up and then you get more of like the curly look that comes up in your design. If you do them face up, just make sure you curl those ends real nice so that you're protecting your cut edges. And this will go really fast now because we just got these 6 pipe cleaners that we're working in now. And these Cruffles, I made these exactly the same way as I showed you the blue and the white. Thank you guys. Hi, Brenda. Oh, not Brenda, Sandra. My vision is not too great either. And that's nobody's fault but my own because I need to get to the eye doctor. Uh-oh, this one's coming undone on me. I'm going to take a minute and fix this back. I like to try to lay my Cruffles on top so that the edges of each one just kind of butt up against each other. Okay, so we got one more. Okay, and just like that, we have really brightened this up, added a whole bunch of color and a little bit of shine to it, which is good because that also will match our sign. The sign has some red glitter in it, so that will look good. Oh, the top of my star is messed up. I'm going to have to grab a different one. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and work on the ribbons here. And then I'll grab the star in a minute when we get to that point. The tip on my star is, it looks like it's getting ready to break off, honestly. The red mesh is amazing. Yes, Shannon, this is actually the same mesh. I seen you at Christmas time. You used one that I often use too. It's the same type, except for the one I seen you use was red, white, and green. This is the same exact type of mesh, and I'm pretty sure it's called wide weave. Window pane mesh will give you the same result if you can't find the color you're looking for in wide weave or whatever, but you want this effect. Window pane is another option. Okay, so I am going to put the red with the USA. And when I do my top ribbons, I just make an X in front of me on the table, lining up my edges. Scrunch it down the middle, pinch the two sides together, and I try to keep the wired part of my ribbon edges folded down on both sides. And then I just tie it in. I'm going to twist 3 or 4 times. I always snip my pipe cleaners off, leaving a 1/2 inch or so, and then I fold that down inside and I squeeze it to make sure that my ribbons are in there very nice and secure. I like to be able to literally pick my wreath up by the ribbons and not have anything come loose. You remember that, yes. So this is the same stuff, just in red. They have it in lime green, which is really pretty too, and some other colors. Okay, so now I'm going to do the star and the flag together. And this wreath is interesting because it's got all kinds of stuff going on with the different, it's got some neutral colors mixed in with the red, white, and blue, and it's got like 3 different patterned ribbons, but only 1 solid ribbon. That was another reason I thought I would do this one on live, because it does show you that sometimes you can have, you know, some people would say a wreath's too busy, or they think their wreath's too busy, but sometimes you can actually use all those and make them cohesive, so make them look like they belong together. And this is one of those designs that turned out that way for me. So the USA and red. And I'm just doing the same thing each time. Did you guys notice that I got a new piece of glass on my table? Probably not, you probably can't see that. But I do. My wonderful husband seen me using that wood burning tool for the first time. And in his storage building, we each have our own. Mine is for my business and his is for the stuff we need. He went out to his storage building and got me this piece of tempered glass that he had been saving. You love that? Yeah, I remember your Christmas wreath, but you don't. Yeah, that's probably true with me too. I don't remember some of my stuff, but other people do. Okay. So we're halfway around with the ribbons. It's getting really nice and full. This design is 24 inches wide. And by the time you add these cruffles on top of cruffles, you get about 5 inches. If you have a thicker mesh, you may be even closer to 6 inches if you're using thicker mesh. So it's a really nice size. It's honestly my most popular size, and I try to stick at around this size with my designs because it is what my customers tend to lean towards. You know, a lot of people make the really large wreaths and they are just gorgeous, but because I'm making mine for my business, I have to make what I know my customers love. Yes, for my wood burner. Wasn't that so sweet of him to think of that? I was using a baking pan, flipping it upside down, a large like baking sheet. and it was very difficult to measure, so I wasn't getting my pieces cut accurately. Um, and he brought this in for me. So now I can, because I can see my mat. Okay. We've got 2 more ribbon bundles. So what do you guys think about doing a cross tomorrow using the new Clever pedal? I really, really just want to try that out. I have also been thinking of some other designs that it could probably be used for. And I was thinking along the lines of like angels and butterflies and things that have wings, maybe. Okay, last one. I was getting ready to say earlier, working on this patriotic wreath made me think of it. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Diane. Oh, Divine Reese. Welcome, welcome. Michelle, right? Got to remember all these names because I'm not the greatest with names. Okay, I'm going to run real quick behind me here and get a different sign because my star tip here is broken. I'm not sure how that happened or how I didn't notice before I came online, but I can't use this because this is a customer's wreath. So let me go grab one real quick. Okay, this one's intact and in good shape, so I'm just going to cut the tag off. Not sure what I'm going to do with this guy now. Okay. See, I am going to, I got a hole up here at the top in the sign already, so I'm going to use that and probably hole punch here in the middle so that my attachments are straight up and down from each other. I try to do that when possible. I just have to see how long I need to cut my wire. This hole punch that I'm using is, I did get this on Amazon. If anybody wants the link, it was on there earlier for someone else, and they only had 4 left. So they've been low on them before and restocked them though. But I have been using this for 2 years now, and it works great. If you've watched me for very long, you've probably heard me talk about the first one that I ordered. I seen another wreath maker using it, so I thought, oh, I definitely want to use what she's using. And I ordered that thing, and it broke on me just as soon as the return period expired. So I went with this really heavy duty all metal one. I paid more for it, but it has certainly paid off. In the long run, I've saved money by doing that. Okay, so when I attach my signs, I use 26 gauge floral wire. I used to get it at the Dollar Tree, but it started getting hard to find it at my Dollar Tree. So I'm not sure if they still carry it. They probably do. But I just went to Amazon because I got tired of running to different Dollar Trees trying to find floral wire. And actually, the price equaled out to be about the same. I just had to buy it in bulk. So, of course, it cost me more at the time I ordered it, but it's lasting me for a very long time. So I'm just going to cut the long pieces. I'm worried about how much I'm going to need from this hole here to get down to the frame. So I'm going to make my pieces long. And then we'll just cut off the extra. the thing about Amazon too is it comes on this nice little spool. I have a hole here in the top that I can put the end through, so I never lose the end of my wire. My wire stays nice and neat all the time. That's something new. Okay, so when I do a sign, I just feed it through the hole that I made, which is another great thing about this. It makes it just the perfect size for this wire to fit through. So it's not like a bigger hole like this hole here where they come pre-punched. You can barely even notice it. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up my wire in the back here or close to it. And then I always twist in the back of my sign. So back here over top of the hole is where I'm twisting. Okay, and I got to be careful not to poke my eye out. I haven't been to the Dollar Tree this year to see what type of patriotic stuff that they have. I've been too busy to even go and look, but I did see somebody post a video. They were in there and they posted a video of the patriotic section, and they had this really cool Americana bottle cap sign that I thought was neat. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. Carrie, how are you this evening? Welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to take my sign and work it down in here. I'm going to try to keep this mesh, the top layer of mesh that we did, pulled out because I don't want to mash it down or bury it. I want it to kind of frame around my sign and my sign to kind of nestle down in between that top layer of mesh. So kind of like that. It's almost like these curls kind of frame around your sign. And then I'm just going to reach down in here and do my best to feed these wires down to the metal frame. And I'm going to wrap the wires around 2 of the rings on the frame. I'm going to pull down so it's snug, but only slightly because I don't want to pull real tight and sink my sign down way far in my wreath. I want it to kind of look like it's floating on top, framed by these curls. Got a string hanging here. There we go. And then I'm just twisting the wire around itself to secure it. So I'm not going to go too far with that until I make sure these wires are going to reach all the way down to the frame. And I'm going to kind of work these back behind this mesh to try to hide them. Oh yeah, and real quick, I need to turn on my glue gun so that we can attach the stars. Oh yeah, perfectly, because these pieces of mesh are laying over top of that wire all the way up to the base of the sign here. So we see no wires, and my piece was plenty long to reach down. I'll have to cut some of it off. Turn it over real quick and show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just twisting in the back here. I twist first to tighten it down towards the frame. Oh Lord, I just untwisted it. I turned it over and got confused and started twisting the wrong way. So let's do that again. So twist down in towards the frame. Then once you have it good and tight where you're comfortable with that, I just twist the wire around itself. Out towards the end until I have about 1.5 inches or so here twisted. I'm going to cut off the extra. These are also a purchase I recommend from Amazon. I got 3 pair of those for $9.99, and they have been magnificent. As you guys can see when you watch me, I cut everything with them, even wire. And they still cut ribbon beautifully as well as mesh with no issue. So I forgot to tell you what I was doing, but once I get the end of it and I trim it off, I just wrap it around one of the rings, and then I push the sharp pointy edge so that it's up inside, so that if you rub across it, it's nice and smooth and won't scratch your door. This one I pretty much already tightened. I'll just finish it up real quick. You probably don't have to twist it this many times. I say it frequently. I'm probably just overkill. But my worst nightmare is that one of my customers would receive one of my wreaths and something fall off of it. Because if somebody's taking the time and spending the money to buy something handmade, they're likely doing it because they like the designs of handmade, but also because they expect that they're getting quality work. Okay. So now that that's done, we'll turn it back over. And then what we're going to do with the little stars is we're going to place them in each of these. I have 6 of them, and we're going to put one in each of these little pockets. Okay, so my glue gun is probably hot. And I'm going to do them so that they're rotating. So I'm going to start with the blue here. Oof, that was way more glue than I needed. I don't think that star is going anywhere. Ouch. And that's probably the first time I've burnt myself on live. Okay, so next we did blue, we'll do red. I let my glue gun get a little too hot. And then we'll do white. We're just going to do like we did with the ribbons and repeat the pattern so that our colors are evenly distributed throughout the whole wreath. Oh Lord, I can't see what I'm doing. I'm sticking it in the wrong place. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn this around so I do see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're back to blue. Goes right here. I did red next. These little foam pieces from the Dollar Tree are excellent for this, for adding just a nice little touch on top of your wreath to just give it a little extra wow factor. And they usually have them for like every holiday. I know that I buy the hearts at Valentine's Day. I buy the shamrocks and gold coins for St. Patrick's Day, the stars for Patriotic. I don't use them as much at Christmas time, I guess, because I tend to use more of like the berries and the pine cones and that kind of stuff. Oh, snowflakes. Yes, I do. And for winter designs and stuff, I buy the snowflakes. Okay, let me turn this around so you guys can see with the sign right side up. What do you think? Thank you, Shannon. You've used those stars too. Yeah, I love their little scatter pieces and the little balls too. That, like, I guess they're like base filler. You need clips. Do you okay, the clips I get at the Dollar Tree, Carrie, and they're actually these are for chip bags, and they actually, these even have a magnet on the back so I can hang them on my fridge to keep me from losing them. And you get like, I think it depends on what type you get. You get like 4 to 6 of them in a pack for $1.25. And I'm always losing my clips, so I loved it. I get all of those. You might think you only need one, but you'll misplace it. It's like your scissors. You'll misplace it all the time. It's nice to have extra ones on hand. You can also use like something that you have around the house, a clothespin, or I don't know if people even use clothespins anymore. I used those as a kid growing up, but I don't anymore. But you can use just about anything. So I don't have a link for that, but I do have a link for the scissors, and I will send that to you. I got a 3-pack of these for $9.99. And it was during Christmas when my kids were helping me. If you've been following me very long, you know that my business, my Etsy, absolutely exploded at Christmas. And I was literally from the time I got out of bed till I went to bed, filling orders and making designs. I even had to hire 3 of my children to help me to keep up. So that's why I ordered these. And when I got them, I was so impressed. I ordered 2 more packs of them. So I have a total of 9 of these. And for $9.99, I figure even if I ruined them in a few months, it's still better than the $30 pair that I got. And after cutting wired ribbon, they're not any good anymore. They still cut, but they're not. These, nothing has affected them. I cut everything with them. So I will definitely send you the link. It might take me a day or two. I'm going to try to do my updating on social media tonight, but I also have some listing to do and one more wreath that's due for tomorrow. So I'll do my best to get on there and send it to you tonight, though. Thank you, Diane. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. You all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow.